Should couples in a committed relationship have friends of the opposite sex? But first, let's watch this clip.
Hello? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, fine, I can talk. Crazy, yeah. Wow, yeah, I know. This project is a killer. Right. I can't believe you said what you said. Yeah, we should be more prepared. There's a meeting on Monday, right? So dinner tonight. Yeah, I think I could do that. Yeah. Okay.
Charley.
What is it? I'm on the phone with Mark.
Mark?
Yes.
Who the freak Mark is?
A work colleague.
Don't sound like no work colleague to me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, like I said, yeah. Sure thing. We do need to get this done. Right, on Monday. I know. Again, it's just crazy.
You need to get off the phone with Mark.
Well, watching this clip, the answer is obviously no.
Really?
Yeah, definitely watching that clip, we cannot have friends of the opposite sex.
All right, but we got to keep in mind that, of course, everybody's relationship is different.
Right.
Yeah, so really this conversation today is going to be talking about how it can be a challenge. And again, I like to talk about awareness, so that's what we're going to dive in. But to talk about the clip,
what was going on, man? Did you see the look on my face? Man.
There was total disregard.
I did not like that conversation.
Right, total disregard for your partner when you dismiss them and not even include them. I think the decision was made.
So it created a seed in my head like, who is this guy on the phone you talking to? And because I heard, but you didn't know, I heard part of the conversation before I started asking you.
Right.
I heard something about going on a date.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, let me go ahead and find out what's going on. So I was kind of playing it off like I didn't hear you because I ain't want you to know I was eavesdropping.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And then of course when you was explaining yourself, I did not receive that explanation at all. No
But sometimes
way.
we think even with, because in the clip it was a colleague from work.
Right.
So we don't look at it as a date, we just look at it as a outing or, kind of.
Yeah, it's innocent for you.
Excuse. Yeah, right. Yeah. Make an excuse for it.
But me on the outside looking at it, you going on a date with Mark? Mark better be a female.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, definitely so.
It can be the start of just that, something very innocent.
Yeah.
And it can turn into something dangerous, for your relationship.
Right. So, we want to help empower our couples out there. So, as they entertain this question, right?
Right.
Is it a yes or no? And I start off saying no, you can't have a friend of the opposite sex. There are opportunities in some relationships that it can happen. Now I would say for the most part, it's a no, but there are some situations where it can be a yes though.
Okay.
But in that clip, it's definitely no. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So what we got here is we're gonna ask some questions.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to ask these questions and find out if yes or no. If it's yes, you may want to look at it a little bit different.
Okay.
And then, of course, we want to kind of wrap it up with telling them how to have a friend of the opposite sex also.
Okay, and that's great. But I also want to say these questions are not the end all. They're not all the questions. They're just some things that you can entertain to yourself to see.
Right.
Are you on the path to?
Are you on that path?
Yeah, to something not being dangerous. A challenge for your current relationship, right?
So let's get at it, Charlie.
All right. So the first question is your partner aware of your opposite sex friendship?
That almost shouldn't even be a question. If your partner is not aware you have a friend of the opposite sex, then why not?
Right.
Right. And they don't know, then something must be going on, right, for you not to want them to know that. And then of course it's negative. You know, if I got a friend of the opposite sex, I want my partner to know that. And if they don't, that sends the wrong message about that friend.
Yeah. But I don't even know how you can carry on a friendship of the opposite sex and your partner would know. So I guess it's heavily defined of what the friendship is.
Right, because in that situation, you're really keeping a secret.
Right.
And we know what secret does for we know what secret do in a relationship sometimes, right? It can mess it up. It can cause some negative thought process, and it can create doubt, it can create mistrust. So definitely it's something you want your partner to know. If the answer is yes to this question, then maybe you can't have a friend of the opposite sex. What's the next question?
All right. So would you behave differently around your friend if your partner was present?
Now that, for me, answering yes to that question is crazy within itself, because why? Why are you acting different when this person of the opposite sex is around with your spouse?
Yeah.
What's the reason? You know, and then if your spouse see that, they see you acting different, like, why is he or she acting that way when they get around this person?
I don't know. When we talk about this question, is, you know, where is this going to happen at? A gathering or an event? You know,
Right,
is it,
right,
you know,
right.
more than one couple. You know, other couples. You know, does this supposed to be friend have a spouse or someone they're in a relationship with? That question makes it look like, okay, there is something possibly going on.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
When you acting different, you might be flirting with the person.
Right.
You know? So for your partner, that doesn't look good. That create doubt, that create questions, that create mistrust, that create jealousy, that create all the things you don't want in your relationship.
Right.
Definitely. So you if you have a friend of the opposite sex, you're gonna act the same. You don't act different. Why are you acting different, Charlie? With Mark on the phone.
Mark,
Yeah.
work husband.
Work husband, huh?
Right.
All right. Y'all don't need to be working no more together.
All right, the next question is, how do you feel if your partner had a friend of the opposite sex? Now, with this, a lot of times we like to dismiss it because it may be something that we're engaging in, and we might say, well, I don't have a problem with it. But in reality, when we look at it.
Yeah, I want the friend of the opposite sex, but I want you to have a friend of the opposite
Right,
sex.
right.
And then, what's the reason? You got one, shouldn't I have one? Shouldn't I have one also? So if you have a problem with that, then naturally you can't have a friend of the opposite sex, and neither can your partner, because y'all have a challenge with that. And you know, relationship is already difficult enough.
Yeah.
You want to bring added things in the relationship to make it more challenging.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm reminded what the scripture tells us, that we're to honor one another above self. And when you're in that situation and stuff, that's what you want to do with your partner. You know, it's not about what you want, what you don't want them to have. You want to place them above you, because that is your partner, that's your ride or die.
Right.
This is the person you said, hey, to death do us part. Nobody else, just this one person. So definitely, you know, you can't be, I got a friend opposite, but you can't have one. No, you can't do that.
So the next question, how does your partner feel about your friend of the opposite sex? Now, when I think about this question, there are, sometimes that we already have a friend that's been friends for years.
Right.
You've been friends and you get
15,
into
20 years, 30 years.
and you get into a
I ain't
relationship
finna
with
lose
them.
my friend because I'm with you.
That's right. So how does your partner really feel about it? Are they okay with it, or do they have a big issue with it?
Right. Because, a lot of times I think we focus on the reason why they have an issue with it. And they don't focus on the reason why their relationship is being dysfunctional or creating challenges and arguments in the relationship that's really unnecessary. And because of that, because we got that friend that's of the opposite sex and our partner have a challenge with it, and let's say it's not based on truth, it's not based on reality. It's based on your partner having the truth about that person that may necessarily not be the truth.
Right.
For an example, they may think that your friend of the opposite sex is trying to get with you, and they're really not. But that's their thought process about it.
Yeah.
Because of that, naturally, they don't like that person. However, which one triumphs? Your friend feelings or your partner feeling.
Even
Even if it's not
right,
reality.
That's right. Even if it's not reality.
It's their truth though. And you have to recognize that that is their feeling, whether it's reality or not.
I think another one of the big issues is that we get into relationships or marriage with other things going on and
Right.
think that it's okay to bring it in, that our partner should accept that
Right,
I already
right,
had this going on.
I've been knowing this person 20, 30
Right.
years.
And not realizing that things are going to change in so many ways. Things are going to change. You're going to have to consider someone else.
Yeah. Think about it. I ain't finna lose my friendship because of you.
Right.
Why not? That's your ride or die. That's your number one. This is the person you said to death do you part. You may have to lose that. Which one is more important? The friend that you've been knowing for 15, 20 years, or the person you have confessed to live with forever? Which one is number one?
Yeah.
And I hope
Yeah.
is that person that you confess to live with forever is number one.
You're right.
Because outside of God, this is the number one relationship. There is no other relationship be greater than the man and the woman, the husband and wife, outside of God. Any other relationship becomes second. Okay? So you, like the scriptures tell us, to honor that
That's
above
right.
yourself. Okay? Don't make it about, well, I gotta have this person as a friend. I can't lose this person as a friend. If it means saving your marriage, yes it can.
Yeah.
Right? Definitely. So
all right.
value your partner's feelings about it, even though it may not be a reality.
Right.
But it is the truth regarding their feelings. Okay.
So next question, are you attracted to your friend?
Woo!
That is something that you have to actually look at yourself and ask if you are attracted to your friend. Now, I would say that, for example, in the clip,
Was you attracted to Mark? Because it did sound like it on the phone, though. You was laughing.
someone could not have women,
Looked like you was having a good time.
well, women, maybe men, possible some, cannot have the upfront physical attraction for somebody, but the more time you spend with them and talking and doing other things, you can build up an attraction for someone. So because a lot of times when we say attraction, we want to look at the physical, we want to think about the physical. But
There's more than that.
Yeah, it's more than that. You got to really ask yourself, are you attracted to this person? Are you drawn to this person
So
for other reasons?
if you are attracted, then what?
And then that's an issue. That's the upfront issue right there. That it's almost like someone was trying to get over alcoholism.
Right.
Yeah, but then they're going to a bachelor party or going somewhere where the event is, they're exposed.
Going to a place with alcohol,
Right.
increasing that
Yeah,
temptation.
there you go, increasing the temptation. So self-knowing and awareness, you know that you have an attraction for this person. Don't entertain.
Right. And I have to go scripture on it. And the scripture tells us, 1 Corinthians
Yes,
6th chapter, 18th verse, it tells us to flee, to run.
that's right.
Run from that. Because, we are in the flesh, right? And it's like being a seed planted in your mind, right? And you really don't even see it. But as it processing goes on and goes on and going on, and then all of a sudden that seed maturate to a place where you are physically attracted, you are emotionally attracted, you are enjoying this person's company,
Yes.
sometimes above your partner.
Yes.
And when that is coming to full fruition, it could manifest in something that creates separation from your partner and connecting with someone else that ultimately could end you getting a divorce.
Yeah.
So we have to be mindful of those things. Even though it's simple, it can create bigger issues in our relationship. So we go with the Bible. Flee from it. Run
Right.
from it.
Right.
You find yourself emotionally attracted to someone, you gotta run from
Yeah.
it. You got to run from it. Okay.
So next question is, do you ever compare your partner to your friend?
That's what I want to know on the phone. Because it sounds like you comparing Mark to me. That's what it sounds like to me.
And you can be doing that and not
you ignoring that, huh?
not even realize that did not happen. So you could be engaging in that and not even realizing that you are comparing that person to
Yeah.
your partner. Because that person may be open and listen to you
Yeah.
when you have,
Mark,
you
listen
know,
to me. Ron, don't.
they may carry themselves a different way and you find yourself, Mark has hair, my husband doesn't. You know, just
Excuse me. My hair supposed to be no, not my hair. My baldness supposed to be sexy, y'all. Come on, man.
You can find yourself comparing in different ways and not even realize you do.
So
that.
Mark got hair.
I don't know, Mark has hair.
Try to make sure. Maybe I need to give Mark a call and ask him this question. Mark, do you have hair? And if you say yes, what's your address?
Yeah.
I'm finna go over that. Yes, but let's go back to this question. Do you ever compare your partner to your friend? You know, that's a dangerous place to be
Yeah.
because it'll create thought process of that person being better than your partner.
Yes.
Yeah. Mark got hair. Ron don't.
Yeah, right.
Mark got more money. Ron ain't got no money.
Right, yeah. It can be dangerous, yeah. You can definitely be dangerous.
Mark listens to me. Ron don't.
And that's the big thing. That's the big thing. So, which reminds me, you have to be aware of what you're going through because you can be in a relationship or married and having issues with your spouse or significant other.
Right.
Someone comes in to listen.
You know that sound more about the woman
Somebody comes
than
in
the man.
to listen.
I don't think man we care too much about the listen part.
Yeah. And you just want somebody to listen to you and that person's available.
And you listen to me.
Right.
It's so nice talking to you.
Mhm.
You're so kind. Next thing you know, you having our next question on it. Have you entertained
right.
romantic?
Fantasies about your friend.
Because the other question about comparing your partner to your friend can create the other question.
That's right.
Because now you start thinking about this person in such a way that's not helpful in your relationship.
Yeah.
Fantasize about them and stuff, and you know, because you're creating this seed, and the seed is growing in your mind. Okay, so you know you're thinking about that person, and in reality, guess who you should be thinking about? Charlie, you should be thinking about me.
Right.
Ron should be thinking about you. I should be thinking about someone else and being with someone else and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you answer yes to that question, that person can't be your friend. It can't. It cannot be.
That goes into the next question about
Alright.
do you talk with your friend of the opposite sex about the problems you're having in your relationship? And we just kind of just really talk
Now
about
that's
that.
huge. That's
It
huge.
is because you're looking for again someone to listen, an outlet.
I want somebody
Whenever
to
that
listen to me.
happens, it can start off innocent, you think,
Right.
but it's a dangerous thing to
Because
engage in.
the other place it comes to, especially when you have someone that you've been knowing for years. Like,
Yeah.
I've been knowing this person 10 years, and I've been married 2 or 3 years, so I know this person longer than I know you. And maybe before we met, I used to go to this person and do a lot of talking, have a conversation. And now that we're married, I don't want to change that, okay? But if it's harmful to your relationship, to me, you have no choice but to change that, okay? But what happens is, right, you start sharing the problems you have in your relationship to that other person, and with the hope that they can provide some insight for you to be better in your relationship. In reality, they cannot.
You don't even realize that you are actually building intimacy with
Yeah,
that
you've been in
person.
intimacy with them.
Yes.
Right. But in reality, you cannot because they don't have all the facts.
Right.
They have your side of the story. There's your side, there's your partner's side, and then there's the side in the middle that normally is the right side. And when you share things with your friend, you're only sharing it from your perspective.
Right.
Only your truth. You're not bringing in what your partner is really saying and what your partner is really feeling. They don't know, and then because they're your friend, they're going to favor you over your partner.
Right.
So that's not a place you want to be. And that person is your friend of the opposite sex. If you answer yes to that question, you cannot have that person as a friend of the opposite sex because it's going to create discord in your relationship.
Okay, now again, so these were not, of course, end all questions, but there were some questions that you need to kind of look at within yourself to see if they apply to you.
Right.
Because it shows that you may be crossing,
Crossing the line, y'all.
yeah, dangerous waters
Cross
there.
that line.
Yeah. So, if you said yes,
To end of these questions.
now what? What do we do now?
Losing a friend forever? Don't have friends of the opposite sex? No, there are things we can do.
Right. Again, now we're saying that we understand and know that this happens. People have friends of the opposite sex, but I think there's a certain way you should go about doing this, right?
Same way you should navigate.
Right, it should. Now, number one, if your partner that's the first thing. Does your partner have a problem?
Right. Because earlier we said if your partner have a problem with it,
Mhm.
that's something that you want to dissolve.
Right.
You don't want to place your friend's feeling over your partner feeling, and you don't want to place your feelings over your partner feeling.
Mhm.
I ain't gonna lose this friend. I've been knowing him for 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Considering your partner, again,
Right.
we went into this relationship, that is something that you have to do. We'll talk a little
Right.
bit about that
Right.
self in a moment, but considering your partner,
Because
it's not all about you.
Yeah, you want your partner to feel comfortable
Right.
with that relationship.
Yeah.
You want your partner to trust you with that relationship. And that's what you're trying to gather. If you want that relationship, and if that's not occurring, then naturally you can't have that relationship at that particular time. Maybe later on you might be able to change, but right now you cannot. Okay?
So another thing is a friend of mine is a friend of yours.
We gotta have friends.
Right.
Okay.
So if this person is my friend, he
Right.
ought to be your friend also.
Okay.
You know?
But you know, you at the same, I guess at the same thing, you don't want to make the person.
Not mate.
Okay,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. But we don't go into singular.
Yeah, the best place to be is all of us friends.
Right.
Because then it bring out better understanding, it bring out understanding how the relationship, the dynamic, and all that, and then it creates an atmosphere that you can trust.
Yeah.
And then that'll create where your partner does not have a problem with the relationship because they understand and see that relationship and they're included in it.
I want to go back to the thought process we have when we get into a relationship or a marriage.
Right.
And I think a lot of times we don't realize the stakes. We want to continue with our activity of self and the way we ran things
Right.
and what we did.
Don't want to change.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to put ourselves first in that,
Right.
you know? We're
You-
putting, it's not about us, about the relationship.
Right.
Right.
When you get married, things are going
Going
to
to
change.
change.
It's just
Yeah.
going to change.
It's gonna change.
And it should change for the better.
I mean, it could be one of the biggest things, quickly we talk about social media. We've seen that.
Right.
As we counsel couples that one would have friends of the opposite sex, on social media.
Right.
And it presents a problem. If it is a problem for your partner, it's something that should be dissolved.
Right. You cannot continue that and think that it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay? Definitely not and stuff because you gotta place your partner feelings above everybody else to include your feelings. No, that's not true. The feelings is true. The situation that's going on, the thought process about it may not be true, but you cannot denounce the feeling. The feeling is true, and that's what you want to respond to. My partner feeling negative about this relationship, they feeling they don't trust this relationship, whatever the feelings are, you can't denounce the feelings.
That's right, you can't, yeah.
You may be denounce why the feeling exists, but you can't denounce the feelings. And that's what you want to respond to. I want to respond to my partner feelings about this in such a way that it doesn't bring a problem in our relationship. It doesn't bring arguments, discord, dislike, and all those things that we do not want. So
'Cause there's-
recognize your partner feelings about it.
I know we talked earlier about the secrecy of it.
Right.
Because
Definitely don't hold secrets.
Yeah, but I'm saying that could be presented with social media.
Yeah,
Secrecy.
yeah, definitely. You can.
What I think they call it DM inboxing. I'm not sure, but when people reach out to other people on social media,
Right?
it can present a very big problem.
Definitely. Yeah. And then it'll create mistrust.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about, one of the platforms of a relationship being successful is trust.
Trust.
And that's what you're trying to build. You'll never get 100% trust out of anyone because we all fall short of the glory.
Yes.
Only God is the person that does not lie. Us human, we lie.
Yeah.
I have lied to Charlie. Charlie, have you what now?
I'm not sure.
Have you lied? Charlie have lied to me. I put it out there. I have lied to her because we are in the flesh.
Yeah.
So because of that platform, there's not 100% trust between human beings, but there should be enough trust where I can depend on you that you're accountable and responsible in our relationship. We cannot depend on you 100% tell the truth. No one does that. Only God does that, and we're not God. Okay? So you know, you don't want to have those things in the relationship that create more distrust already.
You're joined together with that partner, if you're married,
Right.
you join together as one, not join together with a third.
Right.
You know, that's not how it works. So we have to consider, we have to move out of self and
Right.
consider our partner. It's just so big, and I think we go around a lot and don't do
Right.
that.
Yeah. So, you know, these are questions I think every couple that's entertaining having a friend of the opposite sex should ask. And you have to be real and true with yourself.
Right.
Okay? Don't fake the questions by answering a no to a question when you know deep down inside your heart that is a yes.
And being aware that something starts off innocent.
Right, right.
Because you may feel like it's innocent, but the other person may
But I think you know
motives.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Like the attraction part. You know when you're attracted to someone. Come on now. Okay? It's a difference between looking at someone and, you know, they're what I call easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay? And then there's a difference between being attracted to someone where you want to spend time with them and talk with them and all those things that occur because of that attraction.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So this has been a great discussion, a lot of great points. We talked about this was if it's presenting a challenge. We know that people have friends of the opposite sex in their relationships and it goes well with no hiccup. But if it's presenting a challenge,
Right,
potentially,
right.
we have to kind of step back and look at it.
Reevaluate.
That's right.
Reevaluate.
Ask yourself the hard questions.
What's most important?
Right. And look at considering spouse instead of self.
Right.
You know, it's about the relationship, right?
Right.
So great. So thank you guys. This has been a great conversation. Again, you just tuned into RC, the Relationship Connection. I'm Charlie. That's Ronald.
Who am I again?
You're Ronald.
All right. I'm trying to make sure.
Right. You can find us on social media platforms through First Focus Faith or our website, firstfocusfaith.com, which is listed as well as the contact information. Thank you again for joining us tonight. We'll see you again next week at the same time on RC, the Relationship Connection.
All right. See y'all later.
All right.